Welcome to AJV's Originals Way. What you're looking at is the garage that I work in. I'm repurposing myself, been trying this for 4 years. I was running my business as I was doing that, and some life issues cropped up. Couldn't happen as quick as I want. So I'm working in this two-car garage, which is great for me. I basically work in a space between these two shopsmiths. That table, I've got a table saw there. Shopsmiths, I love them. I repurpose them a little bit. This is a bench. Now this is going to change out. Now that I know this works good for me, I'll change it out to a permanent bench. It's just on a couple sawhorses. It's been that way for 3 years. But like I said, some life issues. So this is an introductory video, and I'm going to give you a little bit of warning. One, I have always had problems with enunciations and pronunciations of words, so I may stumble from time to time. Also, this is totally unscripted. I kind of have an idea what I wanted to do, and I'm just checking to make sure this is working. So this is going to be pretty rough. It's going to be another skill set that I'm going to have to learn. Hopefully, if I continue these, I'll get better and better. There's a lot of videos on YouTube that are really, really high production. People for doing it yourself stuff, other crafters, from doing candle making to crafting like I'm doing. I think I bring a unique way to do things. I've learned something that I don't see a lot of people doing online. Because it's a really, really hard skill to learn, and I'll get into that in a bit. So full disclosure, as I said, this is AJV's Originals Way. That doesn't mean that it's the only way. It doesn't mean it's necessarily the right way. It's techniques and systems and methods I've developed to be able to make the best use of the tools I choose to use. And part of the choice of the tools is frankly economics. I don't want to spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff that I could repurpose sometimes myself. As I said, I'm a big fan of Shopsmith. Don't care for their table saw setup. That's why I have the table saw, dedicated table saw. Otherwise, they're a great tool. I do a lot with them. So again, this is an introductory, and I wanted to start with what is it that I make. So this is a toolbox. Check the, yeah, okay. And this is probably the third generation. It's at least the third. And the big deal with this is I've really beefed up the edge here and this divider. I've worked with the same thing for 25 years. This is a little storage system for little parts. And you have little holes here that you can store a flashlight in. This is the same one. I cut 10 of these out at the same time, and this is my set. Multimeter. I was a technician for heating, air conditioning, and commercial refrigeration for going on 18 years. I ran my own business, and I could take these tools, and as you see, into this particular, I got all sorts of little screws and all that. That happens. This is about a 1 year's collection. But with these tools, most refrigeration, including air conditioning and heating equipment. I also worked on the cooking equipment. 95% of the stuff I could take apart. But anyhow, I'm repurposing myself, and I just wanted to show some of the things that I'm making. And start out with the candlesticks. I like Baltic plywood, and this is a segmented variety of different discs that were put together. Make sure that's in this screen. And I like it. The mistake I made on this one, I used a quarter all thread to glue this together. And I love that system that I developed. There's a video that I just made that shows that. But with just drilling a 1/4-inch hole, I can't get that all thread out of there. I was able to dig enough of it out to make this into a candlestick. And then this is just a vase, dried flowers, same thing. So I kind of started with those, went along, did some black walnut, love black walnut. It's a great product. It just gets better with age. This is dusty because it's been sitting in the shop, and it was just an experiment, proof of concept. But that's actually, I like the shape. I'm very pleased. It broke because I got a little bit close, but that's easy enough. That'd be easy enough to glue back together. Make sure I'm in the frame, yep. So that's those, and then I started thinking about cups. Everybody's making cups, and proof of concept, I started with this one, Baltic plywood, just to see. I thought with a ridge it'd be easy to handle, but I wanted a liner because I didn't really like the idea of the drinks being close to the wood like that or on the wood. I would thought eventually it'd become grody. I made this by hand. I've got skill sets with sheet metal from previous employment and all that. It is copper, but I just don't like that rigid bottom. So I went about teaching myself spinning copper, and you can see a lot of videos on that. This is the copper cup that I was going for. It took a long time for a variety of reasons, and I'll go into maybe more depth of that. But it's got a nice curved bottom. There's no seams, there's no solder. It's got a lip over. And then I put a matching lip so that it slips on that, and then there's no chance moisture can get between the barrel of the wood barrel and this copper cup. And then everything's foamed up afterwards, so I'm not going to have condensation inside that. And then working with this, I've got to the point, and this is a rough piece right now. It'll look more on this order when I get done. I made this cup just basically to show the types of wood I was working with. Black walnut, purple heart, red oak, cherry, and hickory. And I like that shape. I'll be making more of these, and I will be actually putting a copper bottom on this and a copper lip, mainly the copper lip, because this is going to be the weakest part, especially on the end grain, which is right here. That's going to break pretty easy, so I'll do a copper lip on that one too. But these, I cut circles out, basically just like that, and that leaves me a remnant, and I recut circles for this cup. So it's basically the same cup, it's just a little smaller. And that allows me to use a lot of the wood instead of a lot of wood going to waste. This is the final version of that. I named it Joe Stein in honor of my best friend who died here about 8 months ago. That was the cup I was going for. And then I got to working with it. I'm very good at silver soldering. I got better at the silver soldering points on this. I'm a little smaller on it. This cup was made about 2 years ago now. As I said, there were life issues that I couldn't really get into it as much as I wanted. I'm slowly getting there now. So that's that. And then in spinning copper, everybody likes hammered effect. See if I can get that. So that's a hammered piece. I spin the rough shape out, I hammer it, and then I finish it. And then it also comes with a 7-inch bowl, and those two go together. So I haven't named that one yet. This little device, see if I have that in the screen. This is my wedding one. I'm married to a beautiful gal, Lori. Very, very fortunate to have been with her for 12 years. And that comes with a little light, little LED in there, and because I realized ambient light is going to make a difference, and then people always have a different idea of what kind of light you want to actually get that in. And then turn this light back on. So that's our wedding plate, and then I put Cali Volbita, our names on it. And I've named this. This is a section that I've done for one I've done for other people. And this particular piece is named after my son, Jeremy Volbita, called Jeremy's dedication plate, and that's how it comes. And I can make a variety of different emblems. This is for Knight Cancer Institute, who was treating my wife for her bout with cancer. Very, very great people. I already made one for the radiology department. I just have to finish that up. So, and then this is for a doctor she worked with in California, cardiologist. So, see if I can get that. There it is. So I also did a little heart on top, and I've got the same emblem, and I just have put that up. Couldn't do it, but I will get to that. Then a smaller little thing, actually one of the first things I made in spinning is a little coaster, and it's got my logo on the back. Functional art just means that, hey, it's art, but it's useful and you can have fun with it. So AJV Originals. And then the last piece I want to show you, I started working with some other wood. Love this stuff. I've seen it before, but I wanted to do something different. My wife, unfortunately, passed here at the beginning of the month, January 2nd, with fighting cancer for going on 4 years. And I miss her. But this sable, it's from South America. I'll be working on that wood now too. But I wanted to show my lady. So that's the introduction to me. And again, in full disclosure, there's two main reasons that I'm doing this video to introduce myself. I want to sell this stuff, and I've sold some of this. I've gotten a lot of wow factor, and the bowl and plate, I've sold about 10 of these already, and I'm not even trying. That I sold to friends and family. I was just showing it off, trying to get their opinion on it. And I also sold it to some strangers that were happened to be at the place at the same time. This particular cup, I made other ones, and I also make people's names on them. This particular cup, and I can do people's name and wire at the same time. I sold about 8 of those. I've got 6 more to make. Again, because of my wife's issues with cancer, I stopped for a while, but hopefully I can get back into that. So I've sold stuff, but I need to do the retail wow. Is this actually going to be able to be retailed? And that's, frankly, in full disclosure and transparency, that's one of the main reasons for this now. But hopefully that'll disappear as things happen and I get better known. And then the second one, I have a huge set of skills, from building homes to working on cars to doing welding to doing stuff like this. And I have a sometimes unique way and a unique perspective on things. So maybe if I continue these videos, again, this is pretty rough, it's unscripted. Hopefully I'll get better at it. That you'll be able to take something away from this and use it. So that's my hope. We shall see. Y'all take care. Stay safe.